Hi and welcome to Cooking with Candy, where today I'll be showing you how to make this super kawaii succulent, so stay tuned. This is in collaboration with NeoKnacks or Daisy, so please check out her video here and don't forget to like and subscribe. So here are all the tools, and I'll leave them in the description box below. So the first step is to make the planter. So first you'll be taking a small amount of clay. I'm using the marble effects clay, I think it is, and I'm making that into a cylinder, and I am just double checking to make sure that the cookie cutter fits over top of this, and you'll see why in a minute. So I'm also making the bottom half a little bit smaller to make more of the potted plant look. So from there you're going to roll out a small amount of chocolate and then tease the inside with your needle tool. And then I'm also adding in a couple little bits of white clay to make it look like there's some petals in it, or pebbles. I know that succulents love this type of growing soil, so that's why I wanted a little bit of extra touch. So like you saw there, you just cut out the little piece of dirt with your cookie cutter and add that on top. So from here we're going to be creating the lip around the pot, so just roll out more of the effects clay and then use a cutter and cut off the excess. You want a long rectangle, and then on one side cut off the excess, and then lift that off of your tile and place that around your pot after you've made sure everything is nice and lined up. So just wrap that around and then cut off the excess, and then just smooth that down. And your first step is done. So the next step is going to be the succulent. The way you do this is by creating a long snake and then cutting off little bits and then forming little balls. And then once you're done making all the little balls, it's time to make them into a small teardrop shape, and then on the round part of the teardrop shape, use a dotting tool to make a little indent and then place the two together. And then from there I'm also adding on some pink colored soft pastels just to give it a really cute succulent look. Now I'm just switching out one ball for another just because I think one looks better as like a bigger one on the bottom, and then you just want to keep repeating this process. So what I'm doing here is kind of making an X or a cross, so you put, you're going to alternate on what sides you put the succulent leaves on. So at the very end you make two small little teeny balls and then put them in the very middle just like they're two small little bits of succulent that are coming out like babies. So now it's time to add on the cute little face. So determine where you want the face to sit and then roll out a really super small snake, and now I'm using a dotting tool for the eyes and then pulling off little pieces of clay to put in the eyes, and then using the dotting tool to place them, and then make a really thin little teeny mouth and then placing that on, and then I'm just using my needle tool to just shape it in place, and then my dotting tool to just smooth it all out. So now it's time to put on the blush, and I'm using the same chalk pastel that I used for the succulent. And now I'm adding in a little bit of the liquid Sculpey and then adding the succulent in there. And then I added in a metal finding, and then it's time to bake. So once you're done baking, it's time to gloss, and the pieces that I'm glossing on this are the succulent and the flower pot. So once you're done, leave that to dry. So once it's dry, it's time to make it into a finding. So make sure that the metal is secure, and if it isn't, then it's time to pull it out and add on a dot of crazy glue and then place that in. And then from there, like always, it's time to loop around your metal and to make it into a charm. So I'm just cutting off the excess, and then, like I mentioned, dipping it in the glue and adding it in. And there you have it, your very own cute succulent. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and go check out NeoKnacks video. Bye!